The yugas are seasons of time. Sattva Yuga is the highest, purest beginning of the universe, where there's just a pool of divine energy. And this divine energy starts to have little flecks that come off and separate from it. And when those little flecks come off, they shimmer back to the divine. And the whole reason to be incarnated at that time is to just reflect the divine to the divine. So it's all about light. And there are no attributes. Everything is very pure. The dog is nosing the camera. Anyway, Sattva Yuga, everything is very, very pure. And beings live 100,000 years to 10,000 years old. Treta Yuga, beings live 10,000 years to 1,000 years old. And they can go in and out of physicality, and they explore the whole universe as much as possible. The universe isn't quite as big as it is now. And then Dvapara Yuga is when beings live, Sattva Yuga, there are no attributes. Treta Yuga, there are attributes. Everything is good. And also the reflection back to the divine, kind of prayer or worship. The reflection back to the divine is through sound. And then Dvapara Yuga, beings live 1,000 to 100 years old. They are physical. Karma is easily understood, and psychic communication is the norm. It's very pure. Leaders start to emerge, so what is good, and what is bad is bad. Milk Bubba thinks that we go through the yugas and then it stops and there's a rest period for the universe. Then we start out really high and we go through the yugas and then it stops and then there's a rest period. It's not even the universe when it's a rest period, but I don't really have good language for that. And I prefer, of course, the cyclical, because that means we're coming out of Kali Yuga in my optimism. And what else? That's all I can think of right now. Anyway, it's all about time. And there's different lengths, like Sattva Yuga is very, very long. Treta Yuga is still very long. Dvapara Yuga is fairly long. Kali Yuga is short compared to the other ones, and they're all like millions of years. Another thing about Kali Yuga, when you read things like people could make buildings with sound to move big stones, and there were ways to fly and things like that, all of the fanciful stuff, that was referencing Dvapara Yuga, and during Kali Yuga those things are less possible, way less common. And a cool thing is the scientists, all of those scientists, none of whom I know their name, have noticed that the universe, the Big Bang happened, and then it doesn't just go like this, right? It's just like a baby growing. It goes like this. It happened and then it rested. And that rest period was a long period of time. And I'm thinking that if they see that the Big Bang happened and there was expansion and then there was a long period of rest, I'm thinking maybe they're seeing markers for Sattva Yuga. And it kind of grows in spurts and then rests, and spurts and then rests. Anyway, thanks. Namaste. Milk Bubba told me that the way the yugas work is they start out at Sattva Yuga, go to Treta Yuga, Dvapara Yuga, Kali Yuga, and then it's the end of time. Everything stops, and nothing is happening. There's a rest period. And then it starts over again. The divine energy is there, and then we start to separate and sparkle back. So that's his theory. Another theory is that we go like this. We go Sattva Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dvapara Yuga, Kali Yuga, Dvapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, Sattva Yuga, and we just go on and on through this cycle, or through the seasons. And then that cycle where Milk Bubba said it starts and then it ends, it starts and then it ends, that's the most traditional map. And I think there's 9 of those, and we're on like number 7 or something. That's not correct information, it's just the idea. There's a certain number, it's not a big number, but the amount of time span is really huge. Another thing about Kali Yuga is all calculations are incorrect. So even how many years each one of these things lasts is incorrect, and they're big, so I didn't memorize them. What else? Yugas, super cool. I felt free as soon as I found out that the markers of Kali Yuga are everything that I was kind of pushing against. And then I was like, oh, I don't have to push against that. That's just kind of the natural state of what's going on right now. So in that chaos a little bit, I'm just trying to remain peaceful. I mean, I am, I guess.